7:55 a.m., June 12th, 2025. I am to not, N-O-T, not wait at all. I am to film as fast as possible my testimony of the chemical weapons compound. As soon as I came back from gushing out poisonous, toxic chemical weapons, I went to the bathroom. Okay, so that's been made clear. This is very important that I just keep hitting this phone app as fast as possible. Get back on the phone app and hit, which is what I'm doing. Okay, so by minute 12 and 15 of waking up and feeling just fine, no physical sickness, they started to fill the gas up in the room, which I testified to on video 1. It went away enough for me to recover after about a minute. Then it was for me to play Pet Shop Boys, which is fine because I wanted to hear that song the last couple days, and I wanted to hear Tears for Fears. I want to play that. So I had these two British bands from the 80s in my head the last couple days. I need to express this emotionally. I want to hear this. Okay, so if it's in my head for a couple days, I need to do it. I'm going to do it. But playing music here, tactically, the noise, and forget it sometimes. And then they get on all these apps on my cellular device, my cellular phone. The apps, APPS, the apps can be absolutely and completely forbidden. Like, don't touch your phone, in all caps. So I have to do that. So much of the time, it would just shock a person, okay? I'm not allowed to talk about it. I can't even talk about it anymore. The don't touch your phone stuff that I have to go through inside of this chemical weapons compound. All right, moving on. So once I was done playing Pet Shop Boys, within 2 minutes, the terrorist from 1513, white extremist, violent terrorist, went out onto the city streets again, off and away, harbored and protected. It's beyond description how shocking this is here. With what I've witnessed in this compound, and these terrorists here, but I am forbidden from talking about it on the internet. It's historic. Please take my word for it. You will, out there in the public, you will hear about it. But it's not going to come from me right now on the internet. It can't. It's not allowed. Okay. So off and away that terrorist went. Within minutes after gas filling up my room. But the gas, by the grace of God, couldn't get in so strong that I was racing in a revolving door, but it was being emitted and it was being pumped at the pace where normally that would cause a revolving door. There's just endless gas, pump. But something wasn't releasing it that strongly in my main room. Something prevented it, and I clearly could tell that. And then, as the world has witnessed, about 2 minutes after this male white extremist terrorist drove off, violent white extremist terrorist drove off, in their vehicle from the chemical weapons compound, I was to hit the phone app report. And then, as the world witnessed, chemical weapons got pumped into my room again. This time I couldn't resist it. As the world witnessed, I'm racing again from toxic chemical lethal weapons exposure. What I am to say to the good military is this compound and all those individuals involved in this compound as of today are 5 times more driven, more determined to never leave the compound and never stop attacking the United States of America. That is through Wall Street, not the tech, but through buying the country. I'm going to buy the United States, which is a practical joke, but they will do that 5 times more. So be looking for just financial crimes like it's snowing outside. Like every snowflake is a financial serious felony. That's all that's going to be happening on Wall Street. That's it. Should be a lot of Bitcoin and crypto. And wow. Like that shit, that's the fall of America. You put that, and you seriously try to put that in your institutional monetary treasury system. You know you're done. You know that no one really takes you seriously, right? You know that you seriously are just waiting for someone else to walk in, right? And take over your treasury and take over your economic system, right? You know that you're honestly doing that on purpose, right? Who is it that you're planning to have come in and do that? What foreign fucking country do you think you're handing my country to? Why one? Okay. So you're going to look for that. You're going to look for the same computer systems that they were running in Senate and they were running in the Congress building. Those computer systems that Russian, disgusting, horrible, psychotic man / military / Russian mafia oligarch guy, white, blonde hair, blue-eyed man, Aryan, white, nationalist, violent, extremist Russian terrorists. You're going to look for the computer systems, those TVs and laptops they were running in Wall Street, they were running in Congress. You're going to look for that. 5 times more determined. You're going to look for that. But you're going to see Saudi Arabia taking credit for this in their newspapers. You're going to see moronic, idiot, psychotic headlines about Iran that are all pure rubbish and lies. Everything out of Iran's mouth is just bullshit. You're going to see that because they're taking credit. They're the great Arab. What is this? You're the Arab what? I don't know. I'm at lots of words. You're the Arab Saddam Hussein is honestly what you are in history columns. You're going to be pulled out of a fucking ditch and a hole in the ground. And this time you were actually bombed for chemical weapons, you motherfuckers. They're actually there. And I've got evidence. And the heroes do too. There's no miscalculation. Get ready to be bombed like Baghdad. Which was good. Taking out the Saddam regime was good. The countries of Saudi Arabia, the King of Jordan, these psychotics, they like to put their faces up with their newborn babies coming out of the Middle East, these royal family members. Once Saddam Hussein was captured, they took over that war. They took it over because remember, Bill Clinton brought all these Muslim terrorists right into the country in 1992. So by the time we went in to take out Saddam, which needed to happen, these evil military individuals and these people who were working for white nationalism, white power within our U.S. government, they had been placed and implemented there on purpose for that purpose to work coordinated with this Muslim terrorist out of the Middle East. All right, it wasn't infested like it is now in 2025. I don't and cannot get sidetracked with these details. But at that point in time is when you saw our U.S. military engaged in atrocities on Muslims in Iraq, in Iraq. All right, which were really disturbing for people like me at home, which caused protests. Yes, the protests that are on historical record were stemmed and spurred from those atrocities. It's not the good guys that fly over this house, and it's not those good guys in LA. There's been circumstantial, concrete, hard evidence for a very long time in our U.S. Armed Services. They knew this was going on. The KKK had been giving these psychotic handwritten letters to service members at a intense velocity for quite a while, more than regular letters. They like to leave these sick letters for the black and brown or white members of the armed services that don't stand at attention for a Ku Klux Klan member who's a general or a corporal or high-ranking officer. So they knew what was happening in the bases. It started to become acts of war about 2 years before Donald Trump declared he was running for office. Acts of war, that meaning they were making attempts and attacking these officers' lives. The good guys. They're in LA, you want to know who. The US cooping military was trying to fucking kill. That's who, it's them. Hello, good guys in LA. Okay, so moving on here. I'm at minute 13. I'm going to do another one. Hold on. Video 3 coming up right now.